right, this edition of Billing Bites is going to be on policy limitations and medically necessary services. So, insurance policies do not pay for every service under the sun. Okay, there are restrictions written into the insurance contract that dictate what's covered and how it's covered. So the first one we're going to talk about is exclusions. An exclusion means that something is not covered at all. So the policy may be written saying, this policy doesn't cover massage therapy. Your policy doesn't cover acupuncture. Your policy does not cover cosmetic surgery. Okay, if you want your nose done or you want a tummy tuck, it's not covered. Okay, so those are things that are not covered and never will be. Okay, limitations are things that are covered, but there are some limits to what's covered. Okay, so a limitation, an example might be that they will pay for physical therapy, but they'll only pay for 30 visits a year. They'll pay for chiropractic, but only 10 visits a year. They will pay for, another limit I see in chiropractic is a dollar amount. We'll pay for it, but we'll only pay $1,000 a year. And so those are examples of limitations. So when the patient has used up that allotment, there is no more coverage until the next calendar year. The most common one you will see is medically necessary. Everything that an insurance company pays for has to meet medical necessity standards. Okay, so my insurance, and probably yours as well, would pay for me to get my appendix out, my gallbladder out, or to remove a brain tumor. Okay, these are all covered policy benefits. But my insurance will not pay for me to get my gallbladder out if I don't have a gallbladder problem. So this is the medical necessity. I have to have a diagnosis that dictates the treatment is needed. I can't just go to a surgeon and say, take out my gallbladder, my perfectly healthy gallbladder. It's not medically necessary. So the insurance company will say, no, we're not going to pay that. So how do we prove medical necessity? Is by giving a diagnosis to the patient that is appropriate for the treatment we're trying to get paid for. And this is all given on the claim form. Now, that doesn't mean we make up diagnoses. Of course, it has to be in the documentation that that diagnosis exists. But provided it's a valid diagnosis, then the service would get paid. Okay. So those are the concepts of exclusions, limitations, and medically necessary.